It's easy probably to sit here high and dry and reflect on last week's events, but it was seriously, I think, one of the more extraordinary weeks for this city of ours. I went for a stroll with my family along the banks of the river at West End on the Sunday, and there were intimations in the river that something was happening, but I think we all were surprised by the ferocity unleashed on the city, especially after Monday night. Monday night was when we saw that horrific footage from Toowoomba, and I think from that moment we woke the next day on the Tuesday knowing that this was very serious, that this indeed was a matter of life and death. It wasn't just a weather event. And I won't forget that Tuesday either, that incredible rainfall, seeing people, certainly in the inner city, scurrying to protect themselves and their possessions. And by Wednesday, that totally bizarre, perfect summer day, I wandered around the CBD to get a feeling of what the city was going through, and it was like carnivale in many respects. There were people gathered on the banks of the river, tourists from the other side of the world taking photographs. It was exciting in a sense. When the power went out in the CBD, that was another matter altogether. It is a peculiar event, and you won't have it many times in your life when a major metropolis loses power. When that happens, I think, the rules go out the window. All the guidelines and dictates that we live by every day, the routines we have, travelling in buses, going into offices and shops, when that power's reefed away, anything can happen. And that's what it felt like in the city on the Wednesday, seeing that river rising so dramatically. By that afternoon, rumours were circulating that Ivanhoe might not hold, and that the walls might indeed break. And there was a genuine, palpable feeling of potential Armageddon in the city. It was a very unusual collective tension, I think. And of course, the flood, as it has always done in Brisbane, pre-European arrival, post, it played out as our geology dictates, because we live on a floodplain, we tend to forget that. And I was reading about the 1893 flood, and of course the same template played out last week in Brisbane in 2011. Down went West End, Milton, Auchenflower, Rosalie, all in the inner city, and in the other suburbs at that point in 1893 not yet established. But we have this flood template, and it flares every 40, 50 years, 100 years, and it's the same character, the same animal that visits us each time. And yet, as of last week, we continue to be surprised, because it is not often this happens to a major city, and especially when it's your own hometown. Qweekend's souvenir edition, we hope, reflects, for want of a better word, a great moment in this city's history.